Hey friends, we are back with layout number 1 for the Cherish workshop. So let's take a look before we get to the actual layout design. I do want to show you a few things that are a part of this workshop. So in each, you'll see in each one of the workshops that there's always an optional featured technique. And this is using texture paste with a stencil and a palette knife. And so we are going to, and hold on here, I want to find a couple different ways for you to do this and to work on this. So you're going to take that piece. Hold on here. I'm trying to find my pieces here. Sorry. I thought I had it all ready. Okay. So you're going to want to take your piece of, there it is, your lattice. The punch out lattice that came in your kit. Okay. And mine is used already. So yours is not going to look like this. Yours is, well, no, it's not going to look like this. You're going to take one of these punch outs, and it was in this punch out. Let me show you. In one of these here, it was in the second sheet of these punch outs right here. Take one of those lattices, and you're actually going to use one and throw it away, but I kept it so I could show you. Okay. And we're going to use this. We're going to use this. I did not use a template. I'm going to show you how to color the texture paste, and that gives it some dimension on the flower petals there. Also, we have on layout 2, and if you want to do all this at once, you can. We're going to do some on layout 1. Layout 2, this is where I did the lattice, and I'll show you how I did that. On here, and I did use the Close to My Heart guide a little bit, just kind of to see where they put, and you can use the larger one inside to see where they had put some of this on theirs, and that's kind of what I looked at to see where I wanted to put some designs. And then layout 3, kind of the same thing. Let me pull that over here. Layout 3. And this one, I just used the lattice with ink and a sponge, but didn't use any texture paste. So it's not the raised up effect, but you still get the ink look. So I'm going to show you the 3 different options for that, and then you can choose, and you can add more than what I did on my pages. You could add it on all your pages for that matter. Okay, so first of all, let me do this here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I have my all-purpose mat. And let me refresh my page so I can see what you're seeing online. And this is texture paste, okay? And it is opaque matte. This is so fun. I think it's very enjoyable, and I love to see the dimension that it brings, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm actually, let me do this here. I don't know if they did this or not, but you can see the raised up, and I colored that one. I want to just do white, I think, on that one here. And so I'm going to open this up, and it's like icing or spackle. If your husband is into construction like mine is, you can see it's kind of fun to play with, okay? It's kind of like icing. And so what I'm going to do is get a little bit of on my thing, and I'm just going to... Am I in here? Right. I'm just going to put some there just to give it some texture. And this, there's no right or wrong. You just kind of play with it. You see, I'm pulling some off, and then I'm putting it on and just kind of playing with it. Okay. And this is just a sticker, my friends. So there's nothing to this. This is going to take a little bit to dry, but you can really play with it too. And it just gives it a little bit dimension. So you can use it just as it is, and it scrapes away pretty good. You could probably use a popsicle stick, I assume. I like the point of this palette knife just because it helps me to wipe some things away and all that. And now this is not dried at all, but you can see the little bit of added dimension that gives. Isn't that cool? And that's just the white plain. Now, how did I get this? Well, I did this. I took my ink pad and I just rubbed it on my all-purpose mat, closed it back up, and then I took some spackle, I call this spackle, texture paste, and rubbed it right into that. I'm going to close this up. This does dry out. Sometimes I had to add a drop of water or so to get it loose again, but look at this. So then you see how I'm getting this to color by just playing with it and mixing it with that ink that's on my all-purpose mat. How cool is that? So you could let it go and just have some white shining through, or you could really have some fun with this too and just keep doing it, and eventually the white will work itself out and the color. And if you want to get more ink, go ahead and put more ink over here and take your texture paste over there and keep adding it to it. Then I learned that a Tupperware container works really good. You know, that perfect seal makes it really good. And I'm going to pull this out. Look how much greener I got that. And you know why? I'm guessing I used a lot more ink. So I'm going to mix these two together. And yes, this Tupperware does keep it from drying out. So I could use this again. And I thought that's kind of what I might do, especially since mist is one of our new colors. I thought, ooh, this might be a good thing and I'll be able to use this in the future. Okay. And it didn't dry out. So that was a yay, hooray. So let me scrape this up. And that's, again, then I took my palette knife and I went right in here and did that. And that's exactly what I did to get that texture, but it was colored instead of white. Now, texture paste, you're going to want to wipe up right away. And so I always have a paper towel close by. And I always have my chamois too. My chamois is great for that. So I use the paper towel first and wipe off what I can and wipe up what I can. A wet paper towel would be good, or baby wipes would be great. But then I'm going to pull in my chamois and just wipe off that as well, just to make sure. And who saw this cute little chamois holder? Ah, why do they have to come up with cute stuff like this, right? And the little topper because you don't want to close off your chamois, it will get moldy. And so you just do like that and it's just sitting there. Yay. So that is that. Okay. That's how we did layout 1. Now layout 2, what we did is here. Oh, and I can't do this quite. I'm going to tell you what I did because it needs to dry in order for you to do this. So what I did is took my lattice and I put it down like so, took my paste, put some on here, and scraped it. Let me do it on, hold on here. Let me find a dark piece like this. Okay. I'm going to do it on the sage piece. I'm going to do it on my all-purpose mat. And I'm just going to show you. Is this in close enough for you? Okay. Texture paste is so fun. I need to do this on my other page too. And then take some of that, and you could tape this down. We have this, you know, this 1-inch masking tape that you could tape it down if you want. Painter's tape. I have some of that hanging here too, if that's helpful, but I am covering up some of it. Do you see that? So I tend to just hold it and then I get myself in trouble, but I'm going to do that. And then you just pull it across and keep working it. I like to do it smooth a lot of times, but you could leave it bumpy if you want it. And let me see, this guide is not the best because it's been used. So it's not going to take everything because my insides have dried on spackle. I'm going to call it spackle. Dried on texture paste just from using it before. Because actually I was supposed to throw this away when I was done, but I wanted to keep it so I could show you how to use it. Because you won't be able, because it's a paper thing, you won't be able to get it off of the paper. But if you are familiar with our products, you know we carry a stencil line as well. And that stencil is perfect to use texture paste on. Okay, so there is that. I need to shut this. And you could just leave it like this. You wouldn't need to give it any ink or coloring. But what happens, how you do that then to get the ink and coloring. So you see there's that. And I'm going to wipe this off right away with my paper towel so it doesn't dry on. Like I said, it's spackle, so it'll dry hard on there. And I could chip it off, but it's much easier to take off when it's wet. And then what I would do is let this dry. And then I would take one of my other lattices that is not spackly. I have 2 more in my kit. And I would lay that right over top of that and take a sponge and dab through that and give it some color. And you see there's a little bit of white there yet too, but it would be color and raised up. Isn't that cool? Yay, yay. And then the third way to use these stencils, again, you take your lattice piece that's not spackled. This one you'll throw away when you're done. But these lattice pieces here, this is a full one. This is one we cut in half, just tall ways. But one of these, I use the light side. I don't know which one I use. That one right there. I use that to ink. I use the light side of that. I use that and I laid it down on my paper and I picked up ink and I just lightly tapped and gave it some color without using the texture paste. Does that make sense? So those are 3 different ways kind of to use stencils, but then also 3 different looks you can get. If you don't have the texture paste and just have the ink and want to do that, that's totally cool. But yeah, just hopefully that is helpful. Let me know if I didn't remember something, but this is also the video about layout 1. So let's pull in layout 1 now. And we got all this. Let's pull this over here. Layout 1. And I need my double mats, my Versa mats. And I don't have them. So let me back out. And so you can see this. And make sure I'm in camera. All right. Here we go. So layout 1, this is pretty similar to Close to My Heart, and I'm going to pull it up a little bit, but I want to show you the photo mats. Oops, I want to pull it in this way. There we go. The photo sizes first. So we have 4x6, 2 of those, and we have 2 3x3s, and then we have 1, 2, 3 3x4s. Okay. Let me, how I built this was I started at the bottom and put on this striped paper. And then next I put on the zip strip. I left about a 1/2 inch space and then put this big 6-inch piece here. Tip, 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 pay attention. Do you see all these scallops? Yes, you're going to find 2 scallops on your sticker sheet. But my friends, you know me, I wanted to stretch it. And so look, ta-da, I hid and I cut. This is the only full length one. All of these others, to make it happen on the top and bottom, I cut and hid all of those little pieces. And you don't have to do that. If you want to just use them and you're not sure where your photos are going to go, choose. Do you want them on the bottom or maybe you want it on the top? You could do that too. Choose which area you would like it to be if you want to put the full strip on. Okay? All right. So let's take a close-up look here. That 11-inch French vanilla piece, you want to dovetail either side. Looks like I still have texture paste right here on my fingers. Okay. So dovetail either side. And then I did pop my big flower, but these 2 stickers are stickers. They're on your sticker sheet and they are apparently hiding. There's one here and one here. A tip, I like to use my static pouch or baby powder on the back of them, because that makes them non-sticky. And then I can choose to pop them, and I can choose to, they just don't stick down flat. They move around a little bit, and I like that a little bit better. Right here, this is a sticker, and this is a sticker. And then these are those lovely punch outs. And look, I don't glue things down, so I can pull things up to show you, right? But it's getting me here. So here, these are your punch out dies, which are right here. Here's some, and then the inside of these are some, okay? And I use two long, I'm going to call these eucalyptus, okay? There, and then two of the mist, what would they be called? Like fern leaves? Not really ferns, but you know what I mean. And then this is just a set of 3 green leaves. This is a chipboard heart, and that comes, do you remember at the beginning here? Let me show you. In this little packet that's in there's hearts in there, and you see there's 7 hearts in there. I think 8, 9 hearts. And you're going to use, I used a medium heart here, and I used a large heart over here on the right page. Okay, so that's that one. And this is a zip strip, and the zip strip is right above there, but then the sticker I put on top of the striped. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the right page. The Love Grows Here is a banner. This right here is a sticker. It is on your sticker sheet right above the stitch dots. And then I'm going to pull this up so you can see what extras I added behind. So 2 greens, a blue, and that blue heart. And again, I added some texture paste there just because. Now, what I did here was I did stamp. Can you see? I had a line. Oh my, I'm so sorry. Had a line that had 3 stamps. And you can see I didn't do it perfectly at all. But that'll give me some place for journaling. And that, my friends, is layout 1. I believe that's all. Okay. Any thoughts? Any questions? All right. Well, we are set up and ready to roll. I am going to shut this video off, start the next video, which is video 3, showcasing layout 2. So come join me and we'll keep crafting. Thank you. We'll see you soon.